Inflation data is in and it is slowing down. Now, the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI, for May 2023 showed a 4% increase year over year with inflation. Now, the estimated inflation number was 4.1%. So inflation is slowing down at an even greater pace than originally anticipated. Now, there's not a big difference from the 4% inflation number year over year that we have compared to the 4.1 that was estimated. It's literally 0.1% of a difference, but it does go to show that inflation is slowing down. And I've said this in many of my videos. The way that the Fed went about raising interest rates, it was too slow in the beginning, and it was too aggressive and too fast, too long and spread out in the end, and it is going to mess up the economy. You're starting to see, why is inflation going down? It's for multiple reasons, but a big reason why inflation is going down is because the demand for goods is going down. People are buying less. First of all, things with interest rates already elevated to where they are, you have everything just costing more. So people are more price conscious about how much money that they keep on a credit card. The amount of money that people have to spend on the new cars or the used cars that they've gotten has just skyrocketed to ridiculous amounts. Same thing for houses. The amount of money that people are paying for cars, not only are the car prices higher, and I feel like that's going to crash any given day now as well, but the amount of money that's going to interest. So not only are people paying more, but they own less and less of it as they make their payments, because so much of it is going to interest. We are headed for some dark times when it comes to the economy. The Federal Reserve, it did this in a completely botched type of way. And as the data continues to come out now, 4% as far as inflation, that's a lot better than the 8 or 9% that we've seen, a year or so ago. It's still not the Federal Reserve's 2% target. And honestly, I don't know if we get back to that target. I feel like it's going to fluctuate all over the place. It's not going to be that steady thing that we saw when rates were just low and everything was fine before the pandemic. I think that those days are long gone. You're going to see a whole bunch of fluctuation. The one thing that we don't want to see is deflation. I've made a video about that in the past. If the price of things just goes towards a negative, so something used to cost this much, now it's costing less because people just want to pump it out because they can't sell at all. If we get to a point where it's deflation, we're talking something worse than a recession, depression, very negative times where a whole bunch of jobs are lost, food scarcity, houses lost, all that type of stuff. Now, I do think that we are headed for a recession. I made a video recently about how Germany's already in a recession. And, some people that I talk to on here say that the United States is already in a recession, and it's going to come out over time, where the data shows that we are. Demand is going down. People are so much more price conscious. The way that the Fed did things, and it's manipulated. Some people say that it's been done on purpose. The upcoming recession it's because they want there to be a recession. But I really do think, pay attention. Make sure that you have money saved up. Make sure that you're not just piling on unnecessary debt. There is different type of debts, having a mortgage where you're paying into home ownership and things of that nature. There are some positive debts, different type of business debts if you're growing your business, so on and so forth. Now, nothing I say on the channel is financial advice, but there are positive debts, and then there's also just stupid debts where you're just buying, luxury items that you don't need and expecting to pay it later, paying interest on it. Just understand the economic times that we're in. All these companies, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, everybody that's done massive layoffs, you're going to start to see more and more layoffs. You're going to start to see a decline in demand. Prices are going to fluctuate. The data is going to show different things. More major companies are going to do more layoffs. So just pay attention, be smart, and just try to stay ahead of the game. Now, with the data coming in the way that it did, some markets are going to react favorably to it. Now, usually when the data shows what it does with the CPI, the Federal Reserve probably won't, or they shouldn't, raise rates this next time around, or maybe for the foreseeable future, depending on what the data shows. Stock markets, other markets might react favorably to that and go up. Now, again, it's not financial advice, but it's a dynamic situation. So yes, inflation is going down, but that means that demand is going down, and interest rates are still elevated, so they might not raise further, but that might affect stock markets in the short term in a positive way. But as the demand continues to crash, job scarcity, job security, and other things might be affected as well. So just try to understand the full dynamic of the picture. It's not just black and white, 1 and 2. There's many different factors that this information affects. If you like content like this, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe for more content like this and hit that thumbs up button for me.